and welcome for the first time, or welcome back. I am doing my last unboxing, at least hopefully my last unboxing. I may end up purchasing some stuff last minute, I'm not sure yet. But this will be my last box of curriculum to open. This was I think the second thing I ordered probably back in May or June of this year. So it's been sitting for a while. I think one of my kids must have gotten into it because I honestly have not opened it yet. Oh, actually there's a piece of tape that still is attached, so it's not all the way open. But yeah, so I'm gonna open this. I know I'm have a different setup today. I don't have my normal recording device. I usually record from my phone because it's just the easiest. But yeah, I don't have it right now, so hopefully the sound quality is okay. And yeah, I had to make something else, a different setup work. So without further ado, this is all the master book stuff. I think I mostly remember what's in here, but not entirely, because like I said, I ordered this probably back in May or June of this year. Wow, that's really not wanting to open. But okay, there we go. Gotta get the bubble wrap out of the way. So, oh man. And then it's a box inside of a box. Oh no. I may need to go get some, a knife or something. Some sort of box cutter to open this. Because yeah, instead of sticking a label on this box, it says More Than Words on the outside because I think they just use reused boxes. So you can see I have used More Than Words and I really like it. It's actually their Bible study curriculum. I used volume 1 before. Okay. I gotta get this open so we can look inside. But yeah, so More Than Words, if you're looking for a good Bible curriculum for your kids, I think it's geared towards upper elementary or middle school. So if you're looking for something for that age group, highly recommend it because it was really good. Volume 1 is what I used. I don't think I did volume 2. I think I only did volume 1, but yeah, I probably should incorporate some sort of Bible study. We do family worship at nights where we read some scripture. Let me move this so it's not in my face. So yeah, but yeah, I should probably have some additional Bible stuff in there. I am having them do a memory verse this year. But yeah, lots of paper in here. I forgot. I got some more read alouds. I got Legends of the Faith. These, I believe, are just regular chapter books for, it probably has the age group on here. I'm actually not seeing it. But it has, if you could see the back, it has early church fathers, famous preachers and evangelists, missionaries for Christ, and famous hymn writers. I'll just pull one of these out. Famous hymn. No, I'll just pull the first one out. So this is what it looks like. And oh, it does have pictures in it. So I just thought it would be cool for my kids to learn a little bit about church history and about other Christians who have come before us. But yeah, this looks like it's probably good elementary, upper elementary, and yeah, because I'm not seeing age on here right now. But yeah, so the early church fathers, you have Polycarp, John Calvin, or Irenaeus of Lyon, John Wycliffe, Martin Luther, John Knox, William Tyndale, John Owen, Patrick of Ireland, and John Bunyan. So you have all of those. And then if you're curious about what's in the next one, I'll just take all these out. And famous preachers and evangelists, you have John Wesley, Jonathan Edwards, George Whitefield, Francis Asbury, Peter Cartwright, George Mueller, Charles Spurgeon, William Booth, Dwight L. Moody, and John Harper. And then in the Missionaries for Christ, you have Adoniram Judson, Robert Moffat, John Patton, I think it's Patton, Hudson Taylor, Amy Carmichael, Gladys Aylward, Eric Little, Betty Green, Jim Elliott, and Brother Andrew. And then your famous hymn ones are Come We That Love the Lord, Isaac Watts, and Can It Be, Charles Wesley. There's a Fountain, written by William Cowper, Amazing Grace by John Newton, and It Is Well With My Soul, Horatio Spafford, and many others. It Is Well With My Soul. If you haven't read the story behind that or heard the story behind it, seriously, go look it up. It is so good. It'll make you love that hymn even more than you probably already do if you love that hymn. It's one of my personal favorites. Then I also got readers for kids, and it's Discover 100 Captivating Tales of Courage, Innovation, and Heroism. But yeah, I'll just pull one of these out. I'm not going to go over all of them. But this is more like an elementary level read. And it goes over John Smith, Miles Standish, Squanto, William Bradford, Pocahontas. Oh, it says grade 6 and up on the back. John Alden, William Penn, David Brainerd, Noah Webster, and Peter Francisco. The one thing that, when I was looking at the website, this kind of didn't have like the greatest reviews, but the main complaint was about the artwork being AI, which honestly, as long as the content is good and accurate, I don't really care too much about the artwork. I'm not a huge AI art fan personally because I have a lot of talented kids who are good artists, and so I kind of like understand why they'd be really frustrated with AI art. But like for something like this, I'm more worried about the content, and if the content's good, I'm not gonna get that worked up and give it a bad review just for the artwork. Even though, you know, I'm not a fan of AI artwork, but I'm more concerned when it comes to homeschool. I'm more worried about content than, you know, the pictures. Sometimes pictures are helpful though, especially if you have like some good maps and stuff. Okay, and then for science, most of my kids this year will be doing God's Design for the Physical World. We really liked the God's Design series, so we're kind of just sticking with it because it worked really well for the wide variety of age groups that I have. It worked well from, I have my youngest two, the Irish twins. They are 4th grade this year, so it'll work for them all the way up probably into I'm probably even gonna have my 9th grader do this, even though it's only up to 8th, because I feel like I did physical science in 9th grade, so I'm okay with him doing this with us. I think my 11th grader, my junior, I will probably have do astronomy, but I already own that, so I'm not showing you that, but it's astronomy it's the high school astronomy that they have for master books. If you're more curious about that, you can leave a comment. Maybe I'll do a video just on the astronomy sometime. But yeah, most of my kids will be doing this. My oldest, who's a senior this year, he doesn't need to do another year of science. He already did the thing he's most interested in when he did applied engineering. And so he's just doing those classes that he needs for senior credits this year. Well, for his transcripts anyway. And then this is obviously the actual textbook that goes along with that. This will be the worksheets I have to photocopy, and it'll have the schedule that I print up for them too, that I can use to keep track of grades. If you're not familiar with that, this is what that looks like. That's the schedule. It's laid out nicely. It has a spot for due dates and grades and to check off if they finished it. And then, yeah, so I really like that format. That's one of the things that I love about Master Books is that schedule format in there. It's just really well done. So yeah, I just make photocopies because we're only using them in our household, and that's what these books say in the front. It's like you cannot sell or reproduce them unless it's for your own personal homeschool. So we do that because it's just for us. So, and then for my middle schoolers, we are going to continue on with World Story 2 because we did World Story 1 last year, which was creation all the way up to, I think, like the beginning of the Roman Empire. So this goes from the fall of Rome, which makes sense if I remember that it was the Roman Empire. So the fall of Rome up into the Renaissance. So that is what we will be going over. I loved doing the little timeline pieces. This is the teacher's manual again with the little, where is it? Schedule. See, yeah, there's a schedule. And then, you know, all the worksheets that they're going to need that I can photocopy for a household. And then we have the textbook, and it's got like pictures and all sorts of goodies in there. I do believe I got the timeline figures for that. We ran out of space on our wall to be able to keep going with the timeline from last year. I really wanted to just add to the one I already had up from last year so that we could use it and just keep it going. But like our setup doesn't allow for that. So I had to take our entire timeline down. I'm just going to have to like start it with where we're at now. So here's what the timeline figures look like. I don't know if I showed them last year. I usually laminate them and then cut them out just so we can reuse them for my younger kids that will probably end up using this. But they're just like usually 4 on a sheet, and then you can laminate them like I do if you want. I also have paper, like a cheap paper cutter, so it's easy to cut out. And then it also has the little strips for the dates, and I laminate those as well, and then, you know, paste them up there. There's 2 sheets. It looks like 2 sheets with dates in it. But yeah, it gets pretty crowded on there by the end of the year with the timeline figures. So just set that aside. And then the last thing that I have in here is the history for my younger 2, because my one that did history and stuff with the younger kids, she's a middle schooler now, so she's just going to move up with the middle school age kids. Even though she didn't do World Story 2, I think it'll be fine because she's still getting a good solid overview of history, and we can always fill in the gaps later. That's the beauty of homeschooling, right? Is you just fill in the gaps that you realize you're missing. So we're using America Story 2 for my youngest 2 kids. I don't know. Maybe I will just have my daughter do this with them because she is 6th grade, so she could technically do history with them. I'm not fully decided. Maybe I will. That way I don't have to worry about the gaps later. But yeah, so here you have the teacher's manual. And again, same format because it's all cohesive with master books. It's all going to be the same type of format. You got your schedule, and then you got all your worksheets in the back that you can photocopy for your household. And then you have the textbook, which has, since it's for younger kids, there's more pictures and a little less writing. Like I don't have to read as much for the little kids. Because even in the World Story, there's sometimes even like scripture in there that you have to like go and look up and read out of your own Bible. But yeah, I also got the timelines for this, the timeline figures for this one this year as well. So we're going to have to try to figure out how to get 2 timelines on the wall, especially since one is America. So it's going to be like, you know, more current, and the other one's going to be, you know, the beginning of the AD era. So yeah, again, this is just, I'll probably laminate these as well and then cut them out. So you just have like a bunch of little events on there. And then you have your date and your dates. This one, there's only one page for the dates because, again, it's America's story. America's only, what, 250 years old as of this year? So there's not as many dates to put up there. But there's a lot of figures. And we actually, by the end of the year last year with our world history curriculum, this is kind of funny. We were running out of space to put them because the dates, if you see this, how they're formatted, they're pretty close together on the strips. So like we had like certain years or like close to it, years where there was a lot of things that happened in history, and so we had like one section where like the last piece for that time, we had my daughter put it up on the ceiling. I think it was my daughter, I'm pretty sure. She's like, I don't know where to put this. I'm gonna have to put it on the ceiling. And she was actually pretty excited that she could put a timeline figure on the ceiling. But yeah, so it can get pretty crowded on that timeline, but it's a good visual tool in my opinion, just to kind of get it down to where we're at in history and then like what happened like all before us. So I highly recommend the timeline figures if you haven't considered doing them. I think last year for America's Story 1, there were some timeline figures that I think they had in the back or that I bought, and I did it more in a book. They did it in, yeah, like on a piece of paper instead of on the wall. But I'd like to have it on the wall because the paper, like it just, yeah, it's just a bit of a mess in their binder to have all those dates on there. It ends up getting all folded and wonky. So yeah, so I highly recommend having that wall visual. And yeah, so we're gonna have some new books for a reading time. I hope they like them, just because I'm trying to get more, like, I want them to, yes, enjoy reading and find things that they're really interested in, but I also think it's important to like have books that they can read so they can learn about things that actually happened, and it's not just all fun reads. I've kind of tried to do a little mix of that myself. Like during the summer is usually when I do my more like relaxed fiction reads, and then I try to do more nonfiction Bible stuff during the school year. And I still try to, well, I haven't been very good about it this summer, but I do not need to probably read like a chapter a day or something in the Bible. But yeah, I usually like choose to read some different things during the summer that are more like what I consider fun reads, because they're just things that like you're not really learning anything from them, you're just more entertained. It's like, you know, a movie on paper, but better than a movie typically. So yeah, so if you're like me and you don't really care about the AI art as long as the content's good on these books, then give them a check and go check them out. See if they might be something you'd be intrigued by, because yeah, I think that's really important, and hopefully it's done in such a way that keeps my kids' interest. And I'm looking forward to this school year, and I think my kids will have fun too. I think they're kind of getting a little antsy and ready to start school here soon. I hope to have another video out next week. It's obviously not going to be an unboxing now that I'm done with that, unless like I said, I might add something in there if I decide to, for sure. I haven't really made that decision. I mean, some years you're just like, you know what, I think there's something else that my kids are supposed to be doing and I need to add it, and you notice it at the end. Like I think they're supposed to do health, and I probably should have like health for my 2 high schoolers so they can get that over with. But yeah, we have kind of done some health through Trim Healthy Mama, but I think they probably need a more comprehensive curriculum. And that's not just about eating right and exercising, but one about like the human body and like what certain hormones and stuff do throughout the body. But yeah, so anyway, I might add that on, and if I do, I'll let you know, all know what I chose. But that's probably gonna do it for me today. If you want to see what astronomy curriculum I'm using for my son, that's the 11th grader this year, I will do a video on that if that's something you're interested in, because I think there's actually videos that go along with that too. And my oldest, that's graduated and working full-time now, he actually used this astronomy curriculum from Master Books and absolutely loved it. It gave him a huge love for space. So anyways, I am going to quit rambling and wrap this video up. I hope this was helpful. I hope it maybe inspired you to go check out some Master Books curriculum, and yeah, and maybe consider some more read alouds for your kids between these and the other ones. And yeah, that'll do it for me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you all next time.